Grace?
Good spot, Isaac.
Are we coming? Okay, so here's one of the things I want to do here. Let's look at the difference between these two. Gametogenesis is the generic name for producing gametes. Genesis, creation of gametes, gamete creation, or gametogenesis. Specifically in a male, it's called spermatogenesis, right? Meiosis 1, meiosis 2, meiosis 1, meiosis 2, 4 cells. Each one of those 4 cells is a viable sperm cell. We're going to see a difference between that and female gametogenesis. So, does everyone have this one? Let's move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Now, what I want you to do is take a look at what I'm going to do. I'm going to change. I'm going to add a little dotted line. Add a little dotted line here. If I were redoing this packet, I would make the first 2 daughter cells different in size. Okay, we need to kind of, what do you mean by that? Okay, so oogenesis is the formation of 1 egg and 3 polar bodies. It seems a little dramatic. They die. Well, okay. It occurs in 2 ovaries and reproductive organs. This is the part. Unequal division leads to 1 large egg and 3 small cells. So take a look at this picture. Okay, this is a handout I strongly recommend you look at when you're reviewing for your future test. Alright, so this is Prophase One. See the tetrads had formed? They're a tetrad formation. Alright, so it's actually, remember, synapsis is tetrad formation. Synapsis is the process of getting them together. So crossing over can occur. Okay, so what's the diploid number of this species? How many chromosomes do you see in a parent cell before meiosis?
I see 6.
I see 6. Yes, so diploid number is 6. Okay, so what they're showing is, okay, here's metaphase 1, and then this is like anaphase 1 and telophase kind of. Then after that, you got 2 cells. But this is the difference. If this was a sperm cell, these cells would be equal in size. And then they'd do meiosis 2, where the chromatids separate 4 cells. But look at the difference. It's an unequal division of the cytoplasm, which results in a polar body and a feature egg. On the last test, we had a question about budding with the yeast. That's what they do. They do unequal sharing of the cytoplasm. All right? Does that make sense? That's why, on your paper, I want you to draw a little line and make a point that the feature egg is larger in size than the other ones. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so this seems dramatic. The polar bodies die. Well, what happens is the mother will just basically, like, sperm that doesn't leave the body is going to be reabsorbed and broken down and reassembled. We are the ultimate recycling factories. The polar bodies are just going to be broken down and reabsorbed. They're kind of cannibalized. I said that earlier. A couple years ago I said they're digested. And someone said, "Oh, that's immoral." I'm like, "There's no moral play here." Yes?
Does size relate to which one dies?
Yes. The big one survives, the 3 small ones die.
Okay.
And I probably shouldn't say die. That has a negative connotation. They basically are just reabsorbed. And then some people were going to say, find a reason to say that's negative.
I think I'd rather die and be reabsorbed.
Thanks for sharing. Okay, so any questions? Can we move on?
What is
Move
that?
back, yes.
Oh,
So do you guys see my little dotted line? Imagine that being, that's the actual size that it should be. Yes.
what's an OOC?
What?
Primary.
Oh, primary oocyte. Okay, let's go back.
Way to go.
All right. Spermatogonium, that should actually say a spermatocyte. All right. Spermatogonium and oocyte, basically that's the name of the parent cell that goes through meiosis that produces the egg. Now here's the twist here, and this is one of the unfairnesses of biology. Statistically, and that number has been contested recently, but they used to say females, double Xers, at the time you're born, you'll have all the eggs you'll ever have your whole life. They're not mature eggs. Males will start producing sperm at puberty and continue doing that pretty much until they drop dead. And then the earth reabsorbs their body after so. Okay, that's all right. So, I forgot which one you wanted, but all right.
He
And I'm
wants us
taping,
to
so I'm
die.
going to move on. We should move on. Okay, so.
He's about to die and be reabsorbed.
Oh, okay. I know the part. All right, so here's the deal. Now, what's going to happen is at sexual reproduction, sexual reproductive age, meaning puberty, post-puberty, they're going to produce sperm, but then then the females are going to start releasing one egg a month until they don't have any more eggs. Now, just create a whole span from like teenage years to menopause. All right, and but there's some research that shows there's like maybe 10% of the female population that actually will do gametogenesis later, not just at the beginning of their life. Now again, they're not mature eggs, and they actually do meiosis 2 later on. So the meiosis 1 is done. The eggs are actually ready to go. So there's kind of like you're born at this stage with all the ones you're ever going to have, and so you no longer have eggs. Right? So one of the unfairnesses of biology is a male can sire a child when he's in his 70s. He's not siring a child with a female that's in her 70s. It biologically doesn't work that way. So, all right. All right, some of you guys are like getting ew. Okay, let's move on. Oh wait, did we? All right, so yeah, so let's move on, do the practice, and we are still filming, so remember that. All right, so here's the deal. This is two pictures that show the same thing. One is showing you a cluster of cells. In those cells would be that oocyte that you asked about, that oocyte, or the the parent cell from meiosis. So this is the same picture. So one's showing you an actual physical picture of the egg or sperm. This is just focusing in on the chromosome. So here we go. Mother, father, they sent out their genes. This isn't showing meiosis 1 and 2. It's just showing the end result. It didn't show the other 4 cells. So after the genetic material, fertilization, egg and sperm fuse together, you're back to having the total number of chromosomes, and you're called a diploid cell, and you're a zygote, and you do mitosis the rest of your life. Meiosis the rest of your life. And at various points, you do this. Even if your female is born with all your eggs, you'll do the second part of meiosis as the eggs, when the eggs are being released. All right, last review, and then we're going to need to finish this up. Okay, so what is oogenesis?
Oh, that's making up one egg.
In the back?
Formation of ovum.
Formation of ovum or egg.
Yep.
Okay. Spermatogenesis.
Formation of sperm.
All right. Formation of sperm. So name the organelle in which the ova are made. Ovaries. Sperm remain in? Testes. Okay. Remember, this is a biology class. Some of you are trying to answer the question. You're kicking. Get over it. We do have FLE later here. All right. So,
That's gonna be fun.
well, I'll talk about that later. Okay. What are polar bodies?
Oh.
Okay. You need to speak up. Leftover bodies after the egg receives the majority of the cytoplasm. I've never had anyone answer it like that, but that's what happens. Okay, so it's the leftover cells that don't receive the total amount of cytoplasm, or you could say the 4 cells that are not the egg, or I'm sorry, the 3 cells that are not the egg. Okay. How many eggs are made?
1.
1, and 3 polar bodies. How many sperm are made after meiosis?